Welcome to Play by Play Productions. Today is April 13th and it's moving day. Let's jump right in. Alright, so the big news from yesterday in the NHL is that the Arizona Coyotes were informed yesterday, according to Emily Kaplan of ESPN, that they will be relocating next season to Utah. According to this, players were informed Friday that the team is relocating to Utah, sources told ESPN, confirming a report by Phoenix Sports. So I'm going to pop it up here so you can read it, but it just says Coyotes general manager Bill Armstrong met with the team ahead of their game against the Oilers to confirm what had been rumored all week. The NHL has facilitated a sale to Ryan and Ashley Smith, the owners of the Utah Jazz. The Coyotes will begin playing in Utah next season. The move is going to be announced next week at the conclusion of the NHL regular season. So that's the biggest news so far, which NHL news anyway this week. It's been rumored for a while that they'd be moving. They'll announce it like next week, like it says. At the conclusion of the NHL regular season, but I think a lot of people that saw this coming, I thought it was only a matter of time before this really happened. The fact that they didn't have an arena that they could call home, they've tried so many different times, like different locations, like Scottsdale, Phoenix. The other day, there's a few days ago, that the Coyotes released a video of this rendering of an arena. Again, I can pull it up there, but they took a Hail Mary shot. Obviously, it didn't work out. No, I don't think a lot of people thought it was going to work out. They tried, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for them in Arizona. The thing, is kind of disappointing is that I know these are two different organizations, but Vegas really showed that hockey can be played in the desert. I don't know what Arizona could have done differently. You can drop your thoughts down in the comments about this, but I guess from the get-go, Vegas was in the Stanley Cup final their first year, and they won a cup last year. They're hockey can be played in the desert, but just I guess not in Arizona. So that's really the biggest news this week is Arizona's moving. They're going to Utah. I think the Jazz owner, I think he's going to be a great NHL owner. He seems like he knows what he's doing. Obviously, the Jazz have had some success recently. They're kind of going through a rebuild this season and last season, but that is what it is. Everybody goes through rebuilds. Hopefully, a fresh start for the players, the Coyote players there in Utah will help them get to the playoffs. It'd be fun to see them in the playoffs, but that's the big news from this week, or at least NHL wise. I'm gonna just go into playoffs. Let's see here. So this is just yesterday, I think, here. I don't know how much this is truly going to change. I think the regular season ends here, I think next Thursday or something, but so maybe it could change a little. Currently, we're just in the East. The Bruins, who are the first seed in the Atlantic, would play the Lightning, which are they're the wild card one. Um, Panthers would play the Maple Leafs. That's the Atlantic 2 and 3, and then the Rangers, who are first in the Metro, would play wild card 2, or the Capitals, and then Hurricanes versus Islanders, which is Metro 2 and 3. So that's in the East. In the West, the Stars, who are Central 1, would play Golden Knights, would be wild card 2. Avs versus Jets, that's the Central 2 and 3. The Canucks, they're first in the Pacific. They play a wild card 1, which is the Predators, and then the other two, which would hopefully this happens, which would be a really good series when it does, is the Oilers versus the Kings. You know, that Pacific rivalry there. That's 2 and 3. So that's kind of the NHL news there for you. We can move on to the baseball news. The biggest news is Spencer Strider, the ace for the Braves, out for the 2024 season. He underwent some surgery to repair his UCL. There's other guys who've gone down with kind of same thing, you know, Tommy John stuff early. We're only like 2 weeks into this season, so it's crazy to me that these guys are already going down with these type of injuries that usually happen later into the season when they've, you know, been pitching for a few months, not just a few weeks. So yeah, that's big news for the Braves. Unfortunately, they've lost their ace for the year. Other baseball news: Jackson Holliday made his home field debut. I can pop up that video there. You know, that's exciting that the number one prospect in baseball has finally made his MLB debut, especially at home. That's exciting. In other news here, we got Shohei's former interpreter gets out on a $25,000 bond. He did not enter a plea. His arraignment hearing is going to be scheduled for May 9th, according to The Athletic. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, baseball didn't find that Shohei did anything, so I don't know if his interpreter is going to be the fall guy for him. But he said he's just focusing on baseball now. But I think here, if I can find this, it says, where's it at? His interpreter made 19,000 wagers from between December 21 and January 2024, which is crazy to be a major league interpreter and wagering on sports. I don't know how he didn't think he was going to get caught or something was going to come out, but obviously it's out. He's done. Shohei just says he's focusing on baseball now, so that's that. That's pretty much all the baseball news I have. We're only a few weeks into the season, so not a ton has really came up yet, except for that Spencer Strider injury, and then Shohei and his interpreter, getting caught and all of that. So that's what I've got there. Moving into the NBA, this is how the standings are from yesterday. So currently in the West, 1, 2, and 3 all have the same record at 56 and 25. Um, the 1 seed is Oklahoma City, 2 seed is Minnesota, and then the 3 seed is the defending NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. 4 is Clippers, 51 and 35 is the Mavericks at 50 and 31. 7 is the Suns, 48 and 33. 8 seed is the Lakers at 46 and 35. A 9 seed is the Kings at 45 and 36. And then the last team in the play-in, which is the 10 seed Warriors at 45 and 36. It'd be interesting to see how 1, 2, and 3 come out of the West. Right now, it's Thunder, Timberwolves, and Nuggets. In the East, number 1 seed is the Celtics at 63 and 18. They've been playing really well at home all season, so they deserve to be number 1 at 63 and 18. Number 2 seed is the Bucks at 49 and 32, which is crazy for me personally. See the difference in the records there at 1 and 2, and then it's just different. Like, it's crazy how different the East and the Western Conference are in the records. Like, the East does not compare to the West, obviously, but I think the Western Conference has always been superior compared to the Eastern Conference, which again it shows here in the records. Does not mean that an Eastern Conference team can't win the NBA Finals, but I think again another Western Conference team will be NBA champs. Anyway, at 3 is the Knicks, 49 and 32. 4 is the Cavaliers, 48 and 33. 5, Magic, 46 and 35. 7, 76ers, 46 and 35. I don't know if they've just been struggling all season or what, but normally they're like top 3 in the Eastern Conference, and they're all the way down at 7. And also same with the Heat at 8, 45 and 36. I think they've had a few injuries throughout the season, but they were just in the NBA Finals last year, and now they're down towards the bottom. They'll be 45 and 36 to the 8 seed, which is, I don't know, it's just crazy to me how that can kind of happen with injuries and that stuff. But at 9 seed, the first play-in one of the play-ins is the Bulls, 39 and 42, and then the Atlanta Hawks, 36 and 45. They're the 10 seed. They're the other play-in. Eastern Conference is just not anywhere near the West. I mean, the Western Conference is definitely has to be the superior conference. They've been dominant for a long time. I don't know. It's just crazy the difference in the two conferences. Also, Giannis went down a couple days ago with a weird injury or his hamstring or something. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there come playoff time. But that's that. That's NBA news. Moving on to the NFL here. This is just a quick mock draft. This is not mine. This is coming from Bleacher Report. So I just kind of want to go over what they have because I find it's kind of interesting. But so obviously we know at 1 the Bears are taking Caleb Williams. At 2 and 3 is where it gets interesting. Jaden Daniels, according to Bleacher Report, they have Jaden Daniels going at 2 to Washington, and then Drake May going to 3 to the Patriots. At 4, he has not moved. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to Arizona, according to Bleacher Report here. 5, this is where it gets interesting. I think this is really good. J.J. McCarthy has moved up from like 12, or people had him at 12 going to like Denver, uh, really before the combine, but now they got him. Bleacher Report has him going 5. I think other people have him also going 5, but they have him going 5 to Minnesota. Minnesota is going to trade up with the Chargers and go get their future quarterback. They lost Kirk Cousins. It seems like they've got to go get a quarterback here. It like the Bears have Caleb Williams, or they're going to take Caleb Williams. The Packers have Jordan Love. Lions currently have Jared Goff. So, it only makes sense since you lost your starting quarterback, you better go find one so you at least can be a little competitive in the NFC North. So this right here at 5 makes sense to me. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. He had a heck of a career at Michigan. So this makes sense. I can see this. 6, the Giants. I don't know about this one, but I can see them waiting until next season to get a quarterback, but they have them taking Rome Odunze from Washington. Everybody knows what kind of receiver he is, so it makes sense that he would go at 6. Personally, if I was a Giants fan, I would think they would want to take a quarterback here instead, but if they really can't unless they move up to 5 and get J.J. McCarthy. But so there's that. 7 is the Titans taking Joe Alt. They're going to beef up their offensive line again. It kind of makes sense there. Atlanta Falcons, they're going to add to their already powerful offense and add Malik Neighbors from LSU to go along with Pitts and London and give Kirk Cousins another target to throw the ball to. 9, again, this is kind of interesting because 9, a lot of people had Rome Odunze going to the Bears to give Caleb Williams another target, but it looks like in this one, Bleacher Report has the Bears taking Jared Verse from Florida State, defensive end. I believe he's a defensive end, yes. I guess they can really the wide receiver class is really deep this year, this draft. So the Bears have plenty of picks to get another receiver or add offensive linemen later in the draft, but defense, this makes sense at 9 to take Jared here because they need defensive help. So I like that one. And then finally at 10, the Jets take Brock Bowers from Georgia, tight end from Georgia. This one really kind of surprises me just because he's a heck of a tight end. So honestly, it doesn't surprise me. You gotta give, Aaron Rodgers another guy to throw the ball to. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy this season instead of just playing 4 snaps and being done for the season. That's just the top 10. Once we get kind of closer, we can go over some more. But that's a lot of the news I have for this week. I don't really got anything else. Spring college football is kind of getting warmed up with spring ball here. That's usually the big thing. Uh, but that is all I have for this week. Um, Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.